Yeah, so you can save quite a bit of money by doing these things. And those calculations in this particular case are based on the price of electricity from that local utility.
Right, so
it
you could be saving more or sometimes less depending where you live?
Well, absolutely. And that's why a tool is needed, because there's so much complexity in these calculations. This same scenario or calculation down in California would probably yield a higher number because electricity is more expensive down in California. And the same is true for carbon. Carbon calculations vary significantly based on where you're at. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we have much more hydroelectric power than they do in other areas of the world. So the carbon calculations would even be higher in those areas.
Wow, so I suppose, yeah, I actually didn't think of that. So if you do live in an area that has more expensive electricity and gas and perhaps even water per capita, then this tool becomes even more invaluable, because instead of saving $37 a year, you could be saving $137 a year or even more.
That's right. So what I can do is on any one of these, I can add them to my plan and actually schedule that to be done. And I'm going to go ahead and say that, you know what, I better get that done by the end of the month. And now it'll track that, and it'll actually remind me to get that done through my email settings, and I can control how much nag mail I get from the system and so forth. But it'll help me track what I need to do to achieve my energy management goals. And then assuming I actually go off and do it, what I can do is I can check that as being completed, and now the system will learn. The system will note that, hey, I completed that task today, and it's going to watch for changes in my energy consumption and try and attribute some of that savings to that improvement. And it could turn out that that $47 savings in this particular estimate was high. So the system will learn from that, and the analytics and calculations will improve as a result of this setting. It could also learn that it was low. So as more people use the site and use the analytics, they will improve in terms of their accuracy. If I want to tunnel down into any one of these recommendations, I can click on them and actually get a nice view of an article about that particular item. And it turns out that sealing your air links really can make a significant difference on your energy consumption.
Sure.
Now typically some of that work is really requires a professional. It might be beyond the capabilities of the average homeowner. So what we have on the right here is, using our Bing search and Microsoft ad platform technologies, we make it very easy for the homeowner to find a local pro to come out and do that on your behalf. Again, the goal is to really make it easy for the homeowner to save on their energy bill.
Sure, I see a star rating system there. Is that's part of the ratings that individual users give through the Bing service? Is that where that comes from?
That's right. And you know, we believe that the community should be empowered to rate the products and services that are on the site, and that star rating system is exactly that. So the community can weigh in and say, hey, this particular vendor is really good, or no, this particular vendor is not so good.
Sure.
We also have the ability to interact with the social networking sites, so that if you come across a really good idea that you think, hey, maybe some of my friends might want to be aware of this idea because I saved a lot of money, you can go ahead and click on one of those and share your experiences. In my particular case, a few months ago, I saw a huge spike in my energy bill. It kept getting worse and worse and worse, and so I knew something was up. And I started looking throughout my house, and what I found was my refrigerator was constantly running. It was running 24/7. So I called up the repairman and I had them come out, and sure enough, it had a refrigerant leak.
Oh, wow.
And it was consuming, really orders of magnitude more energy than it should have. And by the time I actually got it fixed, I actually reduced my energy bill just through that particular problem by about 30%.
Wow.
So it was a really big deal just getting that particular issue fixed. And that shows that as you monitor your energy consumption, and if the sites and the analytics are smart enough to look for problems, it can flag the user and help them save just through keeping an eye on things.
Fantastic.
So a couple other things in here. We have a rich library of content that we've assimilated with contributions from Washington State University. They have a great energy efficiency program down there, and they helped write a bunch of articles that the homeowner can read through and learn more about saving energy and energy efficiency and so forth. They're targeted at the non-professionals, so you don't need a science degree in energy efficiency to understand them. And getting back to the dashboard, to show you a couple other features on there as well.
I actually really like the Twitter integration. I think there will be, apart from the fact that everyone loves Twitter, it's the buzz term of the year. But I can imagine people who come to the decision at the dinner table. You know what, honey, I'm going to seal the air leaks in the house. I'm going to do it myself. And the first thing they do is Twitter. Who has some duct tape and cable ties, and kind of going out to the social network to see who may want to help them do that.
Totally.
So that's pretty cool.
And it turns out that a lot of these lessons learned tend to be pretty local.
Right.
So, here in Seattle, we have a lot of craftsman homes that were built around the turn of the century, and lessons learned from insulation tricks in those homes are directly applicable to others in a similar situation.
Sure.
And we want to provide those social community tools to help people save on their energy bill.
Great.
We'll have some news feeds coming in from the utilities as well as top ways to save. Clearly, there's a lot of interest at the federal level around energy efficiency.
Sure.
And one of the things that will help marry up home users with is better understanding how rebates and tax incentives might apply to their particular situation. So making them aware of those different types of programs, because in some cases, some of these improvements might be very low cost.
Right.
They simply just need to discover or find out about those different rebates, and the site will make all of that information available to those users over time.
Great. So the tool, Microsoft Hohm, will be launching the date. It's actually, we're filming this in advance. We're